everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today I'm bringing you some spooky Ashe. And what I mean by spooky is that this deck doesn't care if the Ashe dies. He actually doesn't mind it, because the whole idea with this deck is that when your Ashe dies, you can bring her back with the Harrowing or with the Kindler and just get a ton of value. Especially if you get a bunch of Ashe from the Harrowing, you're able to just completely freeze the opponent's whole board and percent lethal. That's the general game plan with this deck. However, because of the buff to the Rimefang pack, we're actually able to play like full set of Frozen in Fear and the Rimefang Den Mother. So now we have an alternative win condition where we can actually also win with this big Overwhelm from the Rimefang pack. In combination with all the control tools, it makes this deck a really annoying deck for opponents to deal with if they don't know what they're going against or if they're not careful, because you can just get a ton of value here between the freezes and the overwhelm. So yeah, hope you enjoy the games coming soon, and if you do, make sure to like the video and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. Enjoy the games of Spooky Ashe. In this matchup, we're going against Heimerdinger Jayce. I don't care about the removal that much, right? Because we're trying to go for like a big Harrowing turn. The Shaman is a little bit problematic just because the Shaman can get killed by Soul Harvest. I want to keep this Ashe. I want to get stuff like this, right? So like Ceaseless Sentry is not bad. So Ceaseless Sentry is not bad. Gives me a nice blocker. Lets me push some nice damage. We'll let the opponent kill the Ashe, and then we'll have Rekindler enable, and then potentially later on a Harrowing. So we'll go like this. Opponent could go for the Production Search, yeah. And they get the Elusive Turret. Oh my goodness. I guess we're just gonna get burned out here, right? So this is gonna be 6 damage. Yeah, that's gonna be 6 damage. I'll play this Ashe. That will allow me to attack with Ashe. Opponent could have an Aftershock, I guess, and kill this Ashe. If that's the case, I'm gonna have to glimpse. Okay, so the opponent just go for the Jayce. So this allows me to go like this. I kind of want to have the draw here, so I don't care about this guy dying. And then we're just gonna quiet toss the floor be gone. So I have to deal with this. Alright. And you're not playing anything else for now? Okay, we don't have the Soul Harvest for the Heimer yet. Woo! I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm so good. Sure.
This is the cutting edge of
sure. You can kill her. Man, you can kill her. Like I said, you're kind of just enabling. There's a chance that it's actually better for me to just Soul Harvest. Like, do we Soul Harvest this Jayce? Let's just play the Ashe again. I am kind of scared I'm getting burned out by Jayce, but I'm also more scared of the Heimer than I am of anything else. But I'm gonna just go like this so I don't have to deal with the double Shock Blast. So this way I don't have to deal with the double Shock Blast or the opponent getting double the draw. We'll play the Rekindler, and if the opponent has Ruination, they have Ruination. Ideally here, the Rekindler lets me get the value with the Ashe and potentially percent lethal. So we'll go ahead and play Rekindler. If they have Ruination, I think I'm fine eating up that Ruination. We have Harsh Wind, so we're not dying. Okay. This is still taking a lot of damage, right? So the opponent is still taking 11 damage. It does delay our Ashe level up. So the reason that I wanted to kill the Jayce was because the Jayce allows them to burn us out. Right? So the Jayce will have allowed them to burn us out, which they can't really do with what they have with our Jayce. Now, we don't have the Harrowing. We got a Glimpse here, right? Oh, we don't even get to Glimpse. Wow, okay. So we can just chill. Alright. I guess we'll go for... If we go here, next turn we can Harsh Winds, level up the Ashe, and be okay. Or we can go like this, see if the opponent actually takes the attack. Right? I wanted to see if the opponent actually takes the attack. I'm gonna go ahead and just glimpse this. I want to see this draw first. And this that harrowing that we've been talking about. As long as I keep this. So my only problem with this Harsh Winds is preventing me from actually killing them, right? Preventing me from stopping them from killing us. But if we go Brittle Steel here and we attack like this, opponent's just gonna Vengeance the Ashe, and they can block with the Heimer. If I also freeze the Heimer, I mean, I still have Brittle and Harsh Winds, so we should be okay here. And then next turn we also get the Crystal Arrow. I want to force them so that a Vengeance is not enough, right? Opponent's going to have a Vengeance and a Mystic Shot to survive this damage. Because a Vengeance itself is not enough, because this is still 7 damage. So even if the Vengeance the Ashe, they still have to have a Mystic to kill the Ice Bell Archer. Do you have both? Looks like they do. So they have the Vengeance, they have the Mystic, so they get to survive. We lose the Ashe, opponent gets another Floor Be Gone. It makes sense to kill the Heimer to stop any more turrets from being developed. Right? We can always Harsh Winds and Brittle Steel the existing elusive turrets and have a Brash blocker here. And then afterwards, we just go for... Okay? I mean, I'm also at 11 HP, so even letting a single one of this hit us is fine. Opponent's not allowed to develop because the Crystal Arrow just completely stops them if they develop. So if they develop here, the Crystal Arrow just punishes them. They have to open attack, and the Harsh Winds punishes the open attack. So granted, we want to make sure that we don't die to the burn. So we're just gonna go like this and go here. We want to make sure we don't die to the burn from like a Jayce, right? Or a Shock Blast. So we'll go like this. And then I guess we'll play the Ashe.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
We'll start with the Crystal Arrow and just stop their whole board. If the opponent finds the way to kill my Ashe in response to the Crystal Arrow, then we'll Harrowing, right? So I want to start with the Crystal Arrow first, because it's going to just completely freeze the whole board. Which will allow me to be able to, I guess, win. I guess the opponent has Acceleration Gate, so freezing their whole board doesn't really matter to us.
Come on, Nugget.
Right? Like... No, we freeze their whole board. We freeze their whole board first. It's going to force out the opponent to react to the Ashe. And then we go Harrowing. And if the opponent has Acceleration Gate, we still have multiple Ashe in the bottom of our deck. That should allow us to get lethal. Opponent's at 1 HP. Heck, we even get a Brittle Steel now. So this is perfect, because opponent has to react to this Ashe. Okay, I guess we'll go for it. Opponent still has a Sit-Scout spell that we haven't seen. If this Sit-Scout spell is a Harrowing, then they get there. Ruination. But the Ruination also kills the whole board, so we kind of back to square one, both of us. I was hoping that they would use this instead of using top decking another hand here, right? Like if they had to use 6 mana to get their board back to like having attack, it means that I'm able to play the Harrowing and not worry about Ruination. So I don't know what card the opponent got from the Financier, but I guess it wasn't enough to actually get there. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Deep. So Quietus doesn't stop their Sea Scarab. So I don't know that Quietus is the right play. I like the Ceaseless Sentry just as a blocker. Soul Harvest does stop the Sea Scarab, but we might have to use the Soul Harvest on the Maokai instead. Because I am scared of getting Maokai this game, just because we don't really have a lot of value, right? Like, we don't have a lot of ways to really deal with, like, their Maokai. If we Soul Harvest that right now, that's going to be a problem. I want to get this draw. I want to get this draw so I don't care if the opponent blocks this. He also sets up this to die to Aquatus if I top deck Aquatus. So if I top deck Aquatus, I can actually kill the Sentry, the Scarab if the opponent blocks it here. Maybe that's what they're trying to think? I don't know. Alright. So we pass. No Ashe. No Ashe kind of sucks. I guess we'll go here for now. Just start working on this Ashe progress. We'll open attack again. If the opponent didn't block last time, I mean, okay, I guess they're gonna block this time. Guess they're gonna block this time. Let's take this first glimpse. So this gives us 3 draw. I'll let this go. I'll let this go. I think I want to develop my Shaman. I think opponent just tapped out of the way to deal with my Shaman, and I think that's good with me, right? Because I think the Shaman is gonna be so good at getting our Rimefang packs into a good position. Now the opponent could have Soul Harvest, and that could be a problem. Like if they play Soul Harvest, we lose 1 Shaman. We did top deck the second one. Okay, so this gets us naturally level up this Ashe. Second Soul Harvest means that we're not scared of the Maokai now. So we'll go like this. And there goes the Maokai. We could play this second. Honestly, we can keep the Soul Harvest. Oh, opponent does play Soul Harvest. They just didn't see it. So they just didn't see it. Opponent's about to go deep. Opponent is about to go deep, by the way. So I guess let's go like this. I think at this point, we'll block the Sea Scarab. The opponent could have a Jettison. The opponent lost a Vengeance, lost a Soul Harvest. We'll play this Shaman again. I think right now I just want to develop the Shamans before we develop this Ashe. We'll go ahead for the second Soul Harvest. And that's their second Maokai. And hopefully, okay, that's a Jettison. That's their second Jettison as well. They go there. Hopefully, it means that we don't have to deal with. Okay, so the opponent goes deep. Hopefully, it means that we don't have to deal with Maokai for now. But the problem is that the opponent can easily get that third Maokai, and then we're gonna be in a bad spot anyways. We will have this Ashe now. The second Soul Harvest being used means that the opponent's gonna just look for. Opponent's just gonna look for their Maokai. So opponent's just gonna look for the Maokai. We'll play this Ashe here. Give ourselves the chance to just present lethal. If the opponent has to have a Vengeance here. I guess we'll take the 6 damage. Sure. We'll glimpse this and just get the triple draw before a Maokai comes down. There it is. So if we go Crystal Arrow, we get the draw. Opponent could have that Maokai, right? We want to go for this Frozen in Fear. Like if the opponent replaces any units here, we wanted to go for that Frozen in Fear. They end up not doing anything. So they end up not doing anything. So I guess we'll just attack for the 15. We'll just take the damage now. We'll have the Harsh Winds for next time. If the opponent plays Nautilus here, we'll just Vengeance this Nautilus. I think I want to Vengeance this Nautilus so that the opponent cannot just fill the board with fishes. So we'll Vengeance the Nautilus. This does mean their Maokai is going to be 1 away. So the Maokai is gonna be one away. We freeze that, freeze this. The Frozen in Fear is great. The Rekindler means that we don't care if the Ashe dies. Opponent still potentially didn't find their... Okay, so we can go Frozen in Fear here. That gets rid of the elusive. And then next turn... Next turn we can just go...
Lead the target.
Hear me out. I guess here's the punish, right? The punish is that I'm letting the opponent not have to deal with killing this Ashe, right? I think we block like this. I think we block like this. I probably should just... I think the play had to be for me to actually freeze that heal. And the opponent gets the Maokai. So opponent gets the Maokai. We have to be careful of getting decked out. We have Harsh Winds. I guess if we lost against that toss, we freeze 2 every single turn. We have the Harsh Winds. So opponent needs to have a Vengeance for this Overwhelm. So they cannot Vengeance the Ashe. So I guess that should I just let the Ashe die and play Rekindler, to be honest? Because if the opponent does go for... Like... We go like this, right? Okay, opponent didn't have the Vengeance, so the opponent just loses to the Overwhelm. I was trying to think how we could, like... Opponent would need to deal with the Rimefang, right? We could have started with 1 Harsh Winds and had... That's why I was thinking the Bitter Steel last time was better. Because if we Bitter Steel the Lifesteal, opponent will only be at 5 HP here. Which means that we could have done Harsh Winds on 2 of their units, plus the Ashe. That will have frozen 5 of their units. Opponent will only have 1 blocker. They will Vengeance... They will have to Vengeance the pack to be able to survive, because that has Overwhelm. And then that last blocker, we need to block the Ashe, which we still will have left the 2 Shamans to push the 6 damage if the opponent only had 5 HP. So my mistake was not doing that Brittle Steel on the Lifesteal when I had the chance last time. But it ended up not mattering. Opponent didn't get the Vengeance, so we ended up winning the game. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against the Mirror. So, Spooky Ashe Mirror here. We have the Ashe. We have the Glimpse. I think I want to look for like Soul Harvest and stuff. And potentially get the Shaman, right? I think the Shaman could be really good value here. I guess the opponent has their own Soul Harvest for the Shaman, so it's not gonna matter. But still. Yeah, we'll trade the Sentries. We'll obviously trade the Sentries here. We're both trying to do the same thing, right? So we're both trying to go Ashe into the graveyard, Spooky, and then have Heroine to bring her to the field, etc, etc. We'll go second Ceaseless Sentry. We have double Ashe. That's a good start. So second Ceaseless Sentry here. Opponent goes for the Icebell Archer. They will get the Rimefang pack a little bit bigger than ours, it looks like. Sure. Right? Because here we just play Ashe now. Let the opponent Vengeance the Ashe is what we want, right? Opponent should do it before we can freeze with her. So the opponent should do it before we can freeze with her. That way we are 1 behind. Like, you don't want us to freeze because it puts us so that the Rimefang pack is actually in a good spot. Okay, so opponent's just gonna have the Soul Harvest, the Quietus here. I guess that's good for them. Yeah, I guess the Brittle plus the Quietus is good for them. Alright, we'll let you have it. That's our Rimefang. I don't mind them taking this block, right? Yeah, they're ahead of us in the packs, right? So they're ahead of us in the packs. The opponent just committed a Quietus. Guess we'll take the 6 for now. The Shaman is correct, by the way, but I'm too scared of Soul Harvest. I want to bait out the Soul Harvest here, if the opponent would have given it to us. I actually think this Soul Harvest is correct on the Overwhelm before it can get bigger. So before it can get bigger, we'll go like this. We are ahead on the number of Ashe that we have in the graveyard. So we're able to play this Rekindler and force the opponent to have another Vengeance to deal with this Ashe. And if we ever top deck the Harrowing, wait, we have the Harrowing. So Soul Harvest. If this is Soul Harvest, I feel really good about this Shaman. It's not a Soul Harvest, unfortunately. The fact that they have been able to get value from that Quietus like that is a little bit annoying. Because usually that Quietus wouldn't have gotten in the value, right? So the opponent gets the Glimpse, gets 3 draw, gets to refill their hand. We do have the Harrowing. I guess we can play the Harrowing. We probably should have attacked here. Yeah, we should have attacked here, push that 4 damage, because if the opponent kills this, that would have been okay. Okay. So I guess we'll just go here. Like, we're so far behind on the Rimefang. And it's a little bit problematic for us. It's so bad that we're so far behind on it. Soul Harvest, alright. So that's one less Soul Harvest for this. If the opponent has Ashe, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble anyway, either way. So I'm in trouble either way. The problem is that I'm not dying. The problem for the opponent is that I'm not dying anyways. So we can block this one. Just block like this. We go down to 3. If opponent had another Brittle Steel, they actually would have gotten there. So if they had a Brittle Steel, they actually would have gotten there. So here we're just gonna go Harrowing. And then have the Soul Harvest and everything else that we need. That's gonna give us 4 Ashe. We have Parchments to protect ourselves next turn. Ruination? Okay. So we trade. The problem with this trade is that the opponent could have their own Harrowing next turn. So if the opponent has their own Harrowing, can we beat it? I think we can, with the double Parchments especially. So Frozen in Fear gets punished by my own Frozen in Fear, right? So their Frozen in Fear gets punished by my own Frozen in Fear. I can't believe that my Ashe is still not leveled up, by the way. Like, that's actually so problematic for us. Let's go ahead and do it here. The opponent has so much value from this packs being bigger than ours. Soul Harvest. Okay, so we have 2 options. I think we actually want a Soul Harvest right now and not let them have 2 big wolves, right? We can Ashe next turn and play Shaman as well. So we can Ashe.
Than my arrow? I think not.
We'll go like this and at least get some value from Ashe. And then we'll Shaman to make this guy worthless. Right, so now this guy is worthless. We still have the Harsh Winds and we have a Frozen in Fear. And then we're kind of winning next turn. Even if the opponent has Harrowing here, we have enough blockers that I'm not scared of it. Because the thing about the Rimefang is that it's actually, because it's a 0-4, the opponent, even if the opponent goes for Harrowing here, it's not gonna summon what they want to summon. If we go like this, opponent can easily just go for... Yeah, I guess I'll just go like this for now. Opponent can have their own Harsh Winds. It's gonna be a waiting game, unfortunately. Opponent is not able to summon any unit because of the Shaman. So they have to commit something, whether it's Vengeance or the Harsh Winds. I just want to eat up their answers here. This Frozen Fear is too important for when the opponent plays Ruination, Harrowing, right? So the reason that I want to keep this Frozen Fear in my hand instead of just summoning another unit right now is because I need this to stop their Harrowing. If the opponent has a Harrowing, they choose to kill the Ashe instead of the Shaman. Because if the opponent has a Harrowing here, right, we can develop the Frozen in Fear freezing one of their units, right? And again, this is what I was talking about, that like, it's gonna give them a lot more of the Den Mothers. So we can easily go here. That gives us a blocker while also getting rid of one of their attackers. And then we play the Harsh Winds. And we should be okay. The only downside is that it is gonna mean us losing our whole board. And that's kind of scary. Because we have to Harsh Winds this Overwhelm units. And we have to block everywhere else, right? So we have to go like this. So we actually just lose like the whole board. We can Quietus one of them, and then we have to hope that we top deck our own Harrowing. Otherwise, we're just losing the game because these Bitter Steels are not doing anything against their 4 health units. So we can play one Quietus so that we at least have a second Harsh Winds to punish their pack next turn. No Harrowing. Yeah, at least we get another Harsh Winds. So we can just pass here. We don't need to do anything because we don't want to lose to the opponent's own Harsh Winds. All right. This can get killed by the Bitter Steel, so it's not a problem. Alright, so we're gonna go here. Okay, so let's say that the opponent has... Okay, so if the opponent has the heart... So the reason that the opponent is blocking like this is because they wanna... So we're gonna go like this. They can get their units buffed up again, right? So they can get their units buffed up again.
Stay back.
So I have to block this way. This means that we're not losing to the opponent's own Harsh Winds. And now their units are vulnerable to Bitter Steel, and I'm okay stalling until I get my Ashe or Rekindler or something, right? So I think we developed this now. Because it's gonna get rid of 3 of their units, and we also have the Bitter Steel after. The Ashe is also gonna give me access to the Crystal Arrow now.
My aim is true.
So this is forcing the opponent to have Harsh Winds this turn. We can make it so that we're not getting blocked by anything by using one of the Bitter Steels. I guess the problem is that if the opponent has the Harsh Winds, they can still buff up those packs. Okay, ooh, they didn't have the answer. Like, this was such a weird mirror, right? It's like, okay, who gets the Harrowing again? Who gets the Rekindler? Who gets the Ashe? We end up getting it, and that helps us out, because the opponent cannot develop next turn anymore, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Thralls. You know what card is really good against this matchup? The Shaman, right? If we get the Shaman, it's actually so good against them. I'm going to hard mulligan for it. I don't mind the Ashe. Right? Obviously, we need to have Ashe because he enables our Rekindler. There's a consideration that the Harsh Winds was a keep just so that we can deal with the opponent's like big Troll attack. I'm gonna say that we play triple Harsh Winds, so I'm gonna say that we eventually will get it when we need it. So we'll go like this, sure. No turn 3 play kind of sucks for us. Yeah, no turn 3 play sucks. Let's go ahead and play this Frozen in Fear. Because we have ways to stop the develop anyways with the Icebell Archer. Opponent's going all in on a single one. The problem is that they can copy that with Talia next turn. So the Talia copy is kind of annoying because it's going to get them the double troll. So they can copy with Talia. We'll go like this. At least get the freeze out. We'll push the damage. Opponent plays Talia. They get 2 Thralls next turn. No Talia. Okay, so this wins me the game. As a Thralls player, you wanna be able to have multiple Thralls in the field at once, right? So the fact that the opponent only had a single Thrall makes me feel really good. Like, really, really good. What if we let this Ashe die?
Secrets hidden by frost.
Like, how crazy is it to let this Ashe die? I actually don't hate it to set up for the Rekindler. I don't hate this. I'm gonna kill Lysandra right now with Quietus, because I don't want this Lysandra to level up. I'm gonna block with Ashe, let the Ashe die, have the Rekindler available, right? We're gonna go ahead and kill this Lysandra, replay the second Ashe, play Rekindler, and we should have a really good advantage over the opponent. Especially if the opponent is playing Entomb here. Not Entomb, sorry, Fury of the North, right? Because that's gonna be one less Fury that we have to worry about for later. So now we can go Ashe into Rekindler.
You know I cannot abide that pretender.
And even if these Ashe are dying, we have Harsh Winds and Harrowing for a future turn. So, what? Avalanche, I guess? Fracture? Sure. This Ashe levels up, so you're still dying, my friend. Like, Ashe levels up. I just saw you use a Fury of the North. We don't lose to the Avalanche now that the Ashe are leveled up. And this is 21 damage. Sands of Time keeps you alive. Keeps you alive at 4. And we still don't care about losing this Ashe next turn because we can just Harrow. I guess the problem with the Harrowing is that I need to be careful about the opponent just going for a Rata Negation, right? So if the opponent has Rata Negation, that could be a problem. I want to kill this Lysandra. I don't want the Lysandra to have access. I don't want the opponent to have tough Nexus. So I'm just going to kill Lysandra. Okay, we have the Harsh Winds, right? So we have the Harsh Winds. The other option we can do is just Crystal Arrow. And then Harsh Winds next turn instead. Right, so if we Crystal Arrow this, we're still chilling. Opponent cannot attack with the Frost Guard without losing to the Rimefang Wolf. And then next turn we just we just Harsh Winds and attack again in the open. So we go here, here, go like this. I'm gonna save the other Harsh Winds. No need to get super greedy, and that's game. So even if the opponent has their own Harsh Winds, I guess if the opponent had double Harsh Winds, they could stop this attack. But then I still have another Harsh Winds coming up next turn, and eventually we also have the Harrowing. So GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna get Fizz and Samira. The freezes buys me some time. We need to find a way to be able to kill the Shelly, right? So I think, as much as I like the Ceaseless Sentries, I think I want to look for Soul Harvest or Quietus to potentially deal with the Shelly when it comes down. We don't get either, and that's going to be a problem. We also have a free Aqua Hand now that we got rid of our 2-1s. I guess, honestly, I'm so used to now them playing the Elusive that it's possible that this would not be the Elusive. It's okay, we end up not getting punished anyways. But that was a mistake maybe to get rid of both of the Ceaseless Sentries.
So pretty.
That's cool. So we can go ahead and just go here. Block there, and be okay like that. Test the Spirit. Do we ever British steal this? Probably not, right? We probably want to make sure that we probably do want to just trade here. I think I'm okay letting this coral creature stay alive. I also kind of want this to die. I need some draw here. We get Ashe, so that's better than nothing. We do take that extra damage, which kind of sucks, but not impossible. We'll play the Ashe. Again, no way for us to deal with the Shelly. And now that the opponent showed us the double coral creatures, I know for a fact that they are playing Shelly, right? So we'll go like this. Opponent gets... Okay, so the good thing here is that we can always freeze that, right? That's a big commitment. So that's a big commitment. That's a big commitment. We can freeze. Even if she dies, we'll have... Perfect. just when we needed it, we get it, right? So let's make sure that we beat, let's make sure that we actually do beat an all out and just play this Soul Harvest. So I want to make sure that we beat the all out, right? I want to make sure that we beat the all out. If opponent drags this, we just British Steel again, and we chill. None of this helps you except for Glimpse. Like, I guess the Harrowing could be problematic later on, but none of this really helps you except for the Glimpse. Additionally, now we have this leveled up Ashe, which is going to start pushing a lot of damage into the opponent. We have Harsh Winds. And thinking back on the last turn, right? I think because the opponent hadn't triggered Plunder, I should have just played the Soul Harvest without the Greater Steel. I'm forced to have Warning Shot plus All Out, right? Obviously, the opponent ended up not having the All Out, so I think we kind of ended up playing ourselves by doing that. We'll go here with the Shaman. That will always freeze that Burble Fish, so we don't have to worry about that elusive. We'll have the Harsh Winds for the Fizz. And even if this Ashe dies, we have Rekindler. Remember that we also have this Crystal Arrow for next turn to settle for lethal. And opponent doesn't even bother waiting. So a little bit of a misplay on how we dealt with the Shelly. But again, as soon as you have the Soul Harvest, that's how you're able to deal with Shelly. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Jinx and Kennen. So super aggressive deck. Not this defensive hand that we're looking for. So we're looking for Quietus, Soul Harvest, Ceaseless Sentry, etc, etc. I'm actually going to keep this Quiet... Oh, that's actually not a bad draw. I'm actually going to keep this Quietus. Instead of blocking... Oh, I was going to say, instead of blocking damage, I'm going to save it so that I can stop the Return of Wrench value. But now I don't know. Okay. So this one benefit to this is that I can go ahead and play this Icebell Archer, block 2 damage, block this one, and that should be okay for me. So we're only taking 1 damage. I'm okay with this. So we'll go here. Again, I think the opponent didn't do the Return Wrench, so they don't have the Return Wrench, so maybe we can use, like, if we get into a bad position, then we can always play this Quietus, right? But I think it's so good if I can play it. Like, it's so good if I can play it on the Return Wrench. This stops the mana, at least. We don't have a way to kill the Jinx, so that is a little bit of a problem. Okay, opponent gets more value here. They get to push 5 damage, unless we get to play the Ashe. I think it's probably better to play the Sentry instead of the Ashe. I think it's better to play the Sentry instead of the Ashe. I guess another option we can do is just Quietus the Chompers. But that's not true, because the Chomper is going to die anyways. We can just Quietus one of the other units. The Chomper, like, if we Quietus one of the other units, we still save the same amount of damage. Opponent gets the Jinx. And that kind of defeats anything we wanted to do, right? So we're going to have to go like this. We'll get the double draw. At least we'll keep the Sentry alive, which is what I've been talking about. Like, I don't mind the opponent pulling this. We can play the Ashe, have the Freeze and Quietus for the Jinx. I hope that that's enough. Or we can play the Shaman and freeze the Jinx instead and do the same thing next turn.
Bring me the call.
I don't hate the Shaman. It's a lot harder for the opponent to remove the Shaman, while they can just have blowback for the Ashe. So if they have a blowback for the Ashe, they can kill the Ashe right away. Here, we're getting rid of one of their units by freezing it with the Shaman, while also advancing our Ashe level up. So now, if the opponent has the double Harpoon, then they just good gamers, right? So double Harpoon or get excited as well is a punish.
Remember, we're the ones who make progress.
Mystic Shot also is a punish. No, they have the double Harpoon. Look at that. They have the blowback as well. They have the blowback, right? So again, it's a little bit of a problem. So what this means is that we have to commit the freeze into Quietus on that Jinx, right? And just so that the opponent doesn't find the second Jinx, I guess now we can play Harsh Winds instead. So this Harsh Rinse is better because now we can just go like this. Stop them from getting that extra mana. We go down to 5. We Quietus the Jinx and hope that that's enough. And that, again, opponent didn't get a second Jinx, right? Hopefully. If they have the Vandal Tailstones, they win the game. Okay, they don't have the Vandal Tailstones. So we'll go ahead and play this Quietus on the Jinx. If the opponent has a second Jinx in their hand, they just finish the game anyways. A Blowback also finishes the game. I'm just, man, like the opponent is just so much better than me, right? Opponent is so much better than me having double Harpoon, double Blowback, right? So it's sack lethal here. GG's. That's so unlucky. Hey, welcome back everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's games. This deck is fun. It's fun. Is it good? I don't know yet, right? I think it is fun. I think it can have some good matchups into certain things, but it also can fall flat, right? If you don't, I have quite a few games where if I don't draw Ashe, the deck feels really bad because without Ashe, your Harrowing and your Rekindler feel a lot worse, right? And you're also not getting that consistent freeze to get your Rimefang packs bigger, right? So you want to have that Ashe and you want to be able to attack with that Ashe, but even then, Ashe can easily get removed by stuff like Blowback and can easily be like, it can easily be stopped or you just cannot draw her. So that's what makes this deck awkward. However, we have so much control tools that we are able to kind of slow down the opponent, right? Like Soul Harvest is just so good, especially because you're playing freezes, which means that Soul Harvest can hit anything, right? Like imagine freezing a Nasus and killing it with Soul Harvest, even if that Nasus is like a 20/20. That's what you can do with that combo of the freeze plus Soul Harvest. You can also kind of do the same thing with Quietus. If the opponent only has 4 health, you can freeze one of the units and be able to kill it because Quietus can kill it if they only have 4 health. So you kind of get a little bit of some fun combos here. Obviously, the idea here is that you just want to freeze as much as possible so that you can actually get those overwhelmed to be a big threat against the opponent. It works out that this now that the Rimefang pack can continue growing. That is an aura, because it means that you don't care about summoning the Frozen Fear early or playing the Den Mother early, because your Rimefang pack is still gonna grow. So unlike before where you had to kind of wait until it was big enough, now you can just play it on turn 5 or even play this sometimes on turn 3, depending on the situation in the game state, and be able to just get a lot of value from it. Because it is a good blocker as well with 4 health, so you don't care that much about using it if you need to. Now with that said, I think the rest of the deck is good, but I feel like it might need a little bit more luck for you to actually be able to pull wins, right? Like you do have a lot of draw between the Ceaseless Sentry and the Glimpse, but again, if you're not getting your combo pieces and eventually be able to get a Harrowing where you have multiple Ashe in the graveyard, it becomes really difficult for you to finish up games, right? We kind of saw that in some of the games today. We were able to finish games, right, with the overwhelm of the Ashe. But if I didn't get those Ashes early on in the game, the opponent could just ignore anything we wanted to do, and the Rekindler would have been like a dead draw. So that's part of the reason why I also don't like 3 Rekindlers. I think I like this ratio of 3 and 2, because at least it's one less card that be dead in our hand if we don't get the Ashe early on in the game. So yeah, aside from that, I mean, like the strategy is straightforward. Just try to control, try not to die. What else can I say? Just try not to die. We couldn't do that against that Jinx player, right? But ideally, you have to try to not to die until you can get to your big Harrowing and your big, like, super turn, right? So if you are dying before that, then it's really, really sad. So, yeah. In terms of mulligan, I'm always looking for Ashe. I think you want to just have mulligan for Ashe because it's just so important in this matchup, as you've been hearing about me talking for the past 3 minutes. However, if the opponent doesn't have a way to deal with the Shaman, sometimes I don't mind keeping the Shaman as well, because it can provide a lot of value at getting our packs to be bigger and bigger. But anyways, hope you enjoyed today's games. If you did, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund. We stream every now and then, and you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.